Today we are podcasting about something, most likely Call of Duty, but we are going to be playing a bit of Fortnite. I say we because obviously Mr. Bramz is here. Mr. Bramz, hello.
Hello, how you doing, my man?
Good, good.
These podcasts, have been missed, so make sure that we get a great podcast out. And of course, we got something to talk about: the Black Ops 4 reveal.
Yeah.
Okay, in front of me, as I logged in, I, saw this present. There's something special waiting for you. So I'm just gonna open it up and see what's inside. I wasn't expecting any presents. Uh, oh yes, I remember now. It's the Twitch Prime pack because I'm an Amazon Prime member. I connected my account to Twitch, and I was able to download all their stuff. So yes, that is something that I have. So let me just switch it up real quick, so you can see some of my stuff.
Cool.
Okay. And let's put this here. All right. Okay. Let's go. It says there's this new game modes: 50v50 solo showdown. Oh, that's the one. Okay, so shall we do some duos? Yeah.
Yeah, man, whatever.
Okay.
We're not really here to play
We're
necessarily,
not
are we?
here to
We're here
play
to
exactly. We're here to
we're here
talk
to chat,
about.
really.
Yes. But we thought we might as well get some, gameplay for you guys as we are, talking. So, Black Ops 4. Many people
Right. So,
were
sorry, go ahead.
expecting. No, no worries. Many people were expecting a sort of, you know, uh, boots on the ground, which it is, but set in the modern era. However, that doesn't seem to be the case. So it is boots on the ground. However, it's set in between Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 2.
See, now you say set, but there's like no story mode apparently.
There is no story mode, yes. However, the multiplayer side of things, that's where it's based. Um, I can't remember the year exactly, but they said in between. So what some people
I
said is
mean,
like Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 2 had a kit, and that's what the result is.
if I want to set this up previously. I used to be a huge Call of Duty fan.
Yes.
Back with Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, World at War, that kind of era of Call of Duty. I stopped playing them, and oh my god, there's a lot of people. I stopped playing them, and I'm happy with that decision. So I'm coming at this from a very non sort of player base. You still are into Call of Duty, aren't you? You still play.
Oh, yes. However, I mean, I say I still am. However, the new game World War 2, I have not touched that a lot. Um, I don't know. It just doesn't feel the game I fell in love with. If that makes sense.
Okay, so what do you feel was different about that, and what do you feel made that worse than the
Okay,
other Call of
so
Duty?
for
Before we get onto the
example,
new one.
World War 2, right? Everyone was so excited because they're saying, "Oh, boots on the ground. We're not in the future anymore." So it's all good and nice. However, when you get to play it, the movement, it just does not feel like a Call of Duty game. And plus, of course, other weapons, are not well balanced and all that. But apparently, after a few patches, now the game's it's better. However, I have not gone back to it, and I don't think I probably will go back to it, as I tried it, didn't feel like you know it was for me. The game is not for me, basically. So
Okay.
what Black Ops
Um,
3 is
so,
doing is
uh,
pretty much
can you
bringing the same stuff back.
Yeah, can I ask you some questions before we
Of
kind
course
of
you
go
can,
on?
yeah.
'Cause I just want to set some stuff up before we kind of really talk. So, did you play? Is there a single player mode in that game? Because I haven't bought it.
World War Two.
Yes,
Yes, it does
whatever it was
indeed.
called.
Yes, yes.
So, did you play it?
Yes, I did indeed. Yes.
Okay, so did you enjoy that kind of mode?
You know what? It was interesting because they had some different stuff. What I mean by different stuff is that they've had, you don't just regain health. Instead, you have to ask some of your teammates
Hmm.
to get you health packs, and that
Hmm.
what was happening. So it's interesting. So not just health. This goes for ammo. It goes for spotting enemies. So you have to ask your campaign AIs to help you out, which was interesting. But you know um, it was cool. However, now Black Ops 4, as we said, has literally changed that for a battle royale mode.
Right. So, again, I just to set some stuff up before we kind of get into that. So the fact that um, they've removed the single player mode,
Yes.
obviously a big thing for a lot of people. But you're kind of would you care? Do you care that it's missing at all?
Okay. Personally, not so much because campaign is not really the reason why I used to get Call of Duty for. Call of Duty, first thing you do is like load the game up and go and play multiplayer with your friends, and that's where the best moments happen. So campaign is something I would play eventually once I get bored of the game, but no, it's not something I truly care about, if that makes sense. I'll still play
Okay,
it if it
so
was there, but it's not a necessity, in my opinion.
right, cool. So then, um, does it matter then? Because you were mentioning where it was set. There's no storyline. I mean, obviously they're kind of having a theme or whatever, but to call it Black Ops 4, like it's continuing the story on, and to kind of put it in an age or a world mode,
Uh huh.
does that not seem a bit weird without a story mode? Surely they could just, like Fortnite, just be like, well, whatever, it's just people with guns. Like, I don't know if this is in the future, I don't know if it's in the past, I don't know if it's an alternate reality. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't care because
Absolutely,
it's
yeah.
a multiplayer online game. I just run around shooting people. So, did they need to call it Black Ops 4? Did they need to do it as a
Okay,
continuation
now
of.
now you saying this, now that's a good point you're bringing up, because personally, if you're not following the campaign, then yes, it shouldn't be called Black Ops 4, like you're continuing something, because technically you're not. However, I think what they did here is to bring elements of Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 2 and whatnot for the multiplayer side, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be Black Ops 4. Although I think it's mainly done for branding purposes. So people like, oh, Black Ops 4, yes, because they know the brand. The brand is very
Hmm.
popular, and so I'm guessing that's what
But
they.
surely part of what made the brand popular was single player mode for certainly a lot of people anyway. I know people that didn't play the multiplayer at all, which is weird for a lot of people. Like, well, you bought an online shooter, but it wasn't an online shooter for some people. It was a story-driven game.
No, absolutely, yeah, and
And
I.
Black Ops supposedly had some of the best stories. I mean, I could argue that personally, but um, yeah, a lot of people thought that Black Ops was good because of the timeline setting and whatever else.
Yes, that's true. But we do have to remember the sort of era, games are going through, the sort of time games are going through. Games are not going anymore for, oh, whatever, we do whatever we like. We go for whatever makes money. So Battle Royale, it's a hot topic right now. And they were like, okay, let's make it happen. And that's what they did.
So, do you think? I mean, what's it again? Because again, for the audience that don't know us, haven't listened to our stuff or seen our stuff, we've done a little bit of game development in our past. We
Yes.
kind of know the thing. Do you think when they first kind of put Call of Duty on the Black Ops 4 on the table, they had a single player mode, but due to the money that Fortnite is making, that PUBG is making, that some exec somewhere just went, do you know what, story isn't going to make us any money. It's
Yes.
once we've sold that for $60, that's us done. Whereas if we stick in a battle royale mode, then we quids in.
That's literally the probably thought process that they did, 100%. That is totally what they went for, in my opinion. Because it's something they could have added, you know. Because to be fair, by the sounds of it, it sounds like the map is going to be a combination of previous maps that they've done in the past. So, okay, I'm not an expert in map design and you know game design in general, but in order to create a map with previous maps that you built before, it doesn't sound like too much of a hard job, right? All you're doing is bring in maps and trying to put them together.
Yeah.
Could be wrong, perhaps there is more behind it, but knowing that they're such a big studio, you know, they have so many employees that, you know, I was expecting a campaign as well as a, you know, battle royale mode.
Oh, it's consumable.
Oh, here we go.
I can't.
First apple.
Okay, yeah,
that's
so
pretty cool.
right, so you know, they're kind of cashing in on whatever else. Do you think, like, I mean, obviously they added microtransactions previously because that was working for other games companies and whatever else. And it seems like they're going to go for a bit of a blend of Fortnite and Rainbow Six. It seems like they're trying to put like an operator in, like, that has a special gun and a special weapon.
Yes,
and
of
plays
some
in a
sort,
certain
yeah.
way. And then they're, I assume, going to add skins and other stuff so that there's more ways to spend money.
Oh, absolutely. Trust me, they will find ways of getting money. Trust me, they will not disappoint when it comes to that.
So, I mean, are Activision? I don't even know which studio. They've got so many studios working on Call of Duty these days.
The studio's
Are
Treyarch.
they? All right, cool. Because I know Sledgehammer will have previous.
Infinity War, yeah. There is a combination of them, yeah.
But it's Treyarch this particular time.
That's right, yes.
Cool. Well, you know, like, are they even making a game, or are they making a way of making money? Like, it seems like without the single player, they're not putting any money into voice acting. They're not getting any big actors like they did with Kevin Spacey and like I can't think of the other people that were in it. But they you know, Sam Worthington. They didn't bother with any of the big names. They saved a load of money on actors. They probably saved a load of money on animations and, you know, people that do that job because of all the cinematics and all the cutscenes and whatever else. And then they're basically just releasing a mode that allows them to add more purchasable stuff, as far as we can see it.
Yes, and literally that's what it is. As we said, I tend to play Call of Duty mainly for the multiplayer that I get out of them, and not necessarily through the campaign. However, if this is the case, they still should have made a campaign, and additionally, and I mean additionally, have the Battle Royale mode, in my opinion. Because you could be a player who wanted to play the campaign. You're like, okay, I'm gonna get the game because I want to play the campaign, and that's it. But they've lost on potential, you know, customers and, you know, fans. However, I'm not too sure how much they care about it, because they know that, okay, Battle Royale mode, we put some skins in like Fortnite did, we put some stuff that, you know, people have to purchase to, you know, get to the top, and they're gonna make their money.
I mean, we spoke when we talked about Fortnite a couple of podcasts ago. We were saying then, and we almost predicted this really. We were saying then that really what Battle Royale needs is a first-person version of it, and it needs to be done by a huge studio that would do a good job. Because PUBG isn't a good game.
No,
I mean, it's popular,
not.
it's doing well for itself, but it's not a good game.
Absolutely not.
So, do you think that this is the studio? Do you think this is the game, the one that's gonna be the new benchmark for?
In my personal
Battle
opinion,
Royale games?
I really do like Treyarch's games. I really do enjoy their games. So yes, I think it can be them. So, yes, however, they will have to do a really good job. Sorry, I need to heal up. Oh, see Daisy.
Yeah. So I mean,
Okay.
not bad, man. I mean, you took out a lot of recruitment coming in from behind. So, do you think that they'll do like a classic PUBG style battle royale where you pick up a weapon and then you add sights and silencers, or do you think it will be more like a Rainbow Six or a Fortnite kind of idea that you kind of just have a gun? Or
Okay, that's a very good
something
question
you pick up?
because technically they already have all these mechanics, right? And I don't know if you saw the reveal trailer and the whole live stream, but they were showing that weapons have very specific customization to them.
Hmm.
So the mechanic is already there. So I don't see the point of them not using it, like having attachments. So make sure that the weapon, is not standard for everybody. So if you have a shotgun, it won't be the same as the shotgun I have. It would look different, and of course that's where they can cash in, I guess, by making their money. So that needs to be seen. But I hope, and I mean I hope that yes, the weapons you'd have to get attachments and pick them up, rather than just get the weapon as it is and go for it.
So I'm going to diverse the conversation just slightly so we can touch on some of the other bits and pieces.
Yes.
Treyarch obviously introduced the zombie mode
Yes.
back in World at War. A mode that interests you?
Sorry.
Does the zombie mode interest you at all?
It does in a way, but it's not something I'll go for if my friends say, okay, hey, let's go play some zombies. If that's the case, then yes. If I'm just by myself, thinking, oh, what am I gonna do? The first thing that comes to mind is multiplayer. Definitely not zombies.
So I mean, the fact that they've now said a massive, miraculous 3 maps doesn't bother you in the slightest.
Okay, that is very interesting. Simply because the game, one of the maps is is a remake.
Okay, so they've added 3 maps.
Yes, one of them I think it is a remake because I saw the trailer and I saw Mob of the Dead, which was a map that was available back in Black Ops 2 for the zombies, which was a pretty good map, a very popular map. Many people liked it, but I'm guessing pictures have now been bumped up. I don't know if any changes have been made to the map, but that all needs to be seen when the game launches.
Yeah, I mean, I used to when I was like 3 or 4 people. I used to quite enjoy zombies.
Mhm.
Ah, damn it. But it's not a mode that overly interests me really. But the idea that they're actually mentioning they're adding 3 maps like that's some huge win for the players. Like it's 3 maps, and the zombie maps are tiny generally. Like they go around in a circle for the most part.
Yes.
They did make them bigger and bigger, obviously, as the zombie mode become more popular. But like 3 maps.
Yes, they could have, and I don't know if you saw, but all the maps have some sort of story behind them, and
Yes,
they did not. They were rather focused on the zombies by the looks of it than the campaign.
which is interesting as it's only 3 maps. Like an entire campaign must take months, years of work. It must take a
Yes.
lot of time from animators, storytellers, camera people, directors, all sorts of bits and pieces, all across a number of places like America, France, blah blah blah, because they have to get actors in and
Yes.
people from all over the place. And then in all the saving they've made on all that time and effort, they've stuck into essentially 2 zombies.
Yes. You know what? I think that this game is actually gonna, you know, sort of say how the next Call of Duties are gonna be. Because what if other Call of Duties follow this trend?
Well,
So,
I guess that'll depend on how much the fad battle royales are, or are battle royales the new first-person shooter. Because when Call of Duty 3 came out, I think
hmm
first-person shooters weren't really a big thing in the market at the time. Like, obviously, everything has its generally has its period of time in gaming. And first-person shooters have kind of started to wane a little bit. They have started to die somewhat. Um, but maybe this will bring them back. But this will be the new version of it. It'll just be battle royale. I mean, Battlefield is about to make an announcement as well. Do you think
yes.
Battlefield will be doing a battle royale mode?
Okay, to be totally honest with you, there's been some rumors about it, and people said that yes, there will be a battle royale, and usually most of the rumors are true. They were saying there'd be no campaign in Black Ops 4, and that was in fact true. There's no campaign in Black Ops 4 because it's been replaced by the battle royale mode. So, um, I do believe that Battlefield is gonna go the same route. However, I think it might still have some sort of campaign. I think the Battlefield, doesn't go the cheap route of cutting corners. They're gonna do the whole thing and give you the battle royale mode as well to enjoy.
I mean, because the battle royale mode is literally just a mode, isn't it? It's like 20 versus 20 or 30 versus 30.
It is.
You've got the online multiplayer infrastructure. So unless you're doing something crazy with your battle royale mode, something really innovative, it's essentially just a first-person shooter with a lot of people in it.
Yes, exactly.
Which really for Call of Duty will mean a larger map. So that's the next thing I want to move on to. Larger map. They've said there's going to be vehicles available for the first time, pretty much in Call of Duty multiplayer.
And not just land vehicle.
No, all sorts of vehicles. So do you think that they're going to have overpowered vehicle issues? Like they're going to end up with people being able to get into a helicopter, or a squad getting into a helicopter and just murdering everybody in sight?
Well, that's a very good question because Call of Duty, as you may know, it's a fast-paced sort of shooter. So I think what they're trying to do here is to try and replicate that into a battle royale mode, because here in battle royale people can hide all the way through. And I just go annihilated. But yes, people here can just camp all the way through. They don't even have to kill anyone to sort of win, essentially, if they don't need to. And I think what Call of Duty is trying to do is to try and make the game faster by adding some sort of score streak. So let's say you get 3-4 kills, then you unlock, I don't know, a chopper of some sort. I don't know. This is just ideas that have been going through the community. Because what? People are just gonna find helicopters and planes and just like that in the map. So those people are gonna get advantages. So it's all need to be seen, but personally, if they do it, the kill streak way, where you kill a certain amount of enemies in order to get that, then yes, that sounds perfect. That means the game will be a lot faster, more people will go and try and get kills. So I think that will make it for...
Don't you think that's kind of a little bit of the rich get richer though, in that the more people you kill, the more people you can kill. Because if you've killed 5 people to get a helicopter or something, and then you get a helicopter and you can go and kill another 10 people.
Okay,
That,
yes. I do...
You can have a lot of chicken dinners if you
yes.
get a helicopter towards the end of the map and there's only like 10 people left and you can just fly anywhere and murder them.
Okay, no, I do get what you mean. You see, like, I really don't know how they made sure that everything is balanced and, you know, without any issues. So that really needs to be seen.
All the vehicles in PUBG are transport vehicles only. So if they've got like
Exactly.
Humvees or they've got like APVs or whatever, then that's fine. If they're talking about flying sort of thing, if it's just a transport, if it's just a helicopter with no guns and you can't shoot at it while you're in it, kind of thing,
It could be. It really could be.
then that's kind of fair enough for you to get from one place to another if you're stuck at, and I don't know whether it's going to be the blue, the purple, the green, whatever colour they're going to pick for their clothing walls. Because I assume they're going to go with that particular nuance from Battle Royale modes.
Yes.
I wonder though, because I think they're going to do this whole Rainbow Six thing where you can they are very much create a class people, aren't they? They love a class being created.
Yes.
Whether they're going to go for the Hunger Games style of Battle Royale, and you actually choose your gun before you go in, and that's the only gun you can grab. Do you know what I mean? Like, your gun is placed somewhere in the map, and you have to go and get it. And for anyone who hasn't seen Hunger Games or whatever else, essentially your weapon, I think, is placed in the centre of the map. Everyone starts right near their weapon, and it's a race to get to your weapon, or you can run away, come back later, or whatever else. Like, it's a tactical kind of idea of whether you rush for your weapon or not. And everyone has their own specialised weapon, like one's an archer, one's a spear person, etc. So, I wonder if they'll go for that, if they're going to innovate in that way.
That could be a way, because yes, they would have to make it different, because otherwise, why people are like, oh, I'm already playing this game, what's the point of me getting that game? So yes, they will have to make it fairly different, for sure. But how different they're going to make it, that is a very good question.
Because I mean, if they do use the create a class system, and you can set your class up before going in there, that would be interesting. It would.
It would definitely take a different, change. It'll be different from all the other games, available till now.
I can't remember everything from the reveal. Was there anything else we kind of needed to talk about from that?
So we spoke about the being no campaign. We spoke about the multiplayer, and I think pretty much everything. We covered pretty much everything. The live stream itself was somewhat interesting, but something that we already knew. Of course, we talked about zombies, but unfortunately, no campaign. So.
Okay, so if we've kind of covered all the newsy bits, all the major, we still don't know all the details because they haven't released any of the details. I suppose that'll be coming soon. But
yes,
we can kind of just talk about personal feelings and whatever else. We've covered all the actual aspects of it. So, are you considering buying the game more or less now that you've seen the reveal?
To be totally honest with you, it was going to be a game that I would have bought even if I didn't see the reveal. Simply because, first of all, of course, I am a guy or a person who likes to buy games and especially the games I already know and I've played in the past, then yes, they definitely come onto my list. And I want to get it also because I want to see what this battle royale actually does. However, I don't know how long this hype is gonna last for, because, you know, 2 months time, you know, the battle royale hype could die. So what is Call of Duty gonna do? Like, oh, we made the game, so now we're gonna stick with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
It could be
But
something that
once they've made
dies.
their game and they've sold it, then I guess that's fine. And by November, I can't imagine people will be necessarily. I think November's the release date, isn't it? Usually it's November time. I can't imagine by that point people. I think there's people coming. Yeah, there are.
Where?
Down by the little
Oh,
truck.
yeah. The only worrying part is as I mentioned, I do not know how long Battle Royale will last. So you said that yes, they will sell the games, but you know they didn't make this game to just sell it for the $60. That's it. They want to make more money out of it. They're literally trying to milk it as much as possible. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, when you've got studios, obviously make games for money. It's not necessarily a surprise that they're trying to make money, but it's just a value orientated thing for the player. Like,
Yes.
if you love skins and you love these kind of ideas, then that's fine. But then it doesn't. There's no value add for you, so it's whatever, isn't it? Like,
Absolutely, yeah.
But weirdly for me, it does actually intrigue me to buy possibly
Seriously?
another Call of Duty. Yeah. I haven't bought one in years, and I hate Activision. I'm not going to ready up here because we're almost at
Yes.
the end here. So, like, I kind of I haven't bought one in ages, but that's because I found it too laggy, and I didn't like what they were doing with a lot of stuff. There was a lot of run and gun nonsense. But if they have a larger map and it's a little bit more battle royale-y, then I think the multiplayer finally has a chance to be reset, if you know what I mean. Like, they kind of went down a path I personally I did not say it's bad, because whatever you enjoy, but they started making maps smaller, they started making corners tighter, and it was for the run and gun audience. It was for that MLG kind of crowd. It was for the people that love the submachine gun, the kind of all the perks that allowed you to pull your gun up faster, that allowed you to run faster, to run further. Like, some of the maps people would have on the sprint for longer, the fast sprint, and whatever else, and they'd literally just charge across the map with an SMG and gun you down within seconds of the map starting. And I just, for me, that wasn't enjoyable, because if you weren't that person, you had to literally instantly lay on the floor, put your gun up, and just look for anyone coming. And then you'd end up getting grenaded by the other guy with a noob tube. So it kind of become really, really unplayable for me. It was entirely because I didn't want to become a run and gun. It wasn't for me. It's not how I play games.
Absolutely.
But a battle royale mode could reset that. It could put the balance back, because the map's bigger. There's no real grenade. I mean, obviously you've got grenades in this and whatever else, and you have grenades in most games, but it's not going to be overpowered at distance. You're going to have to be able to throw the thing for quite a way. And then you've got the fact that, again, the run and gun in open fields, if it's very much like Fortnite and PUBG, the map, or Battlefield have been doing large maps for years.
Yes.
Running, yourself in Battlefield, you run across an open field, you're probably dead.
Yes, because you get sniped.
Yeah.
And there's snipers that literally, yes.
But in that respect, Call of Duty have never used a bullet drop. They've never used a Coriolis effect in any of their games. It's always been hit scan. So
Yes.
if they keep hit scan, you're going to be able to pistol people from the other side of the map, essentially. You're going to be able to shotgun people from a mile away, and snipers are going to be the most accurate thing on the face of the planet.
Yes.
Like, you're going to be able to just murder people instantly. So, do you think they're going to add bullet drop or try and do some sort of physics to their game now? And add a new element to their sniping and their long-range shooting? Or do you think it's just going to be hit scan still, and that's just the way you've got to play it?
I think that they're gonna stick to their formula of keeping everything, wherever you aim, you shoot, sort of mechanic. Simply because they know it works for their games, but having that bigger map into consideration, that does change things. So perhaps I do hope that they have this sort of mechanic of bullet drop, but I doubt they will include it. I really doubt it.
I mean, maybe that's where they put their time and effort. Maybe they got some programmers in that actually do real-world physics. Or not real-world physics, because you can never get real-world physics, but mathematical calculations that are try and apply some sort of physics to their bullets.
Yes, it could be. It really could.
But that would change Call of Duty, wouldn't it? That would be a massive change to what they are. Even the Battle Royale mode is going to be a huge change to the franchise, because they're not used to large maps. They're not used to people, not interacting for maybe 5-10 minutes. You've got to kind of make your way across the map and whatever else. So in that regard, do you think that their multiplayer map's going to be small? Or it's going to be very city-based, it's going to be all buildings and stuff, so the run and gun still works?
From what I understood is that there's going to be a ton of little maps, all connected in some sort of way, because the way they said is that they combine in 10 years worth of work and put it in this one big map. So what I'm expecting is some sort of map to map and then a connection in between of some sort. I'm not expecting the sort of Fortnite style where here's a city over there and then there's some little bits here and there, and then just grass for some time. No, I'm actually expecting a fully packed map. I don't know if that makes sense, but otherwise it will sort of ruin the Call of Duty aspect of it.
Well, there's no real open field in Call of Duty, is there? Sniping is incredibly difficult. If you're an old school sniper like me that kind of aims down the sight like a real sniper does and doesn't know scope or quick scope or 360 scope, like if you're an old school sniper that sits still and snipes, the games became less and less fun because the maps became smaller and smaller. And if they just jam 10 small maps together, you've got one medium-sized map, really. It's not going to be particularly large, is it?
Mm-hmm, yes.
Which, again, I don't know if that's that could be a really bad thing for a Battle Royale, because the thing about Battle Royales is that 100 people go in and, like we've just experienced here, you kind of don't meet anybody for 5 minutes and then you die. So are they going to try and change that in as much as soon as you get into the map you're fighting for your life and games are over in like 10 minutes, 20 minutes?
That's a very good question.
Like,
I think
just dead?
the only way to find out is actually wait for the release, or the beta at least, which if you pre-order the game you get access to, because it's a closed one, unfortunately. So
that's standard for them, isn't it?
Going back to what you said, you would actually spend the £60 to play this game.
I at this moment in time, I am intrigued by Call of Duty. Usually when they announce it, for the last 4 or 5 years, I've ignored it. I've literally don't care about Call of Duty anymore. That part of my life's over with, like, I don't know, playing with Transformer toys or something. That part of my life is gone.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like remembering it. I appreciate it. but it's over with, and now I've got other stuff to do with my life. So there's so many more good games coming out. Obviously, we talked about Red Dead Redemption 2, which we will probably
Oh,
bring into both that challenge when it comes.
yes, absolutely.
Um,
Day one.
so for Red Dead Redemption 2 to be out and to be playing that, will Call of Duty factor into my life? I don't know. But if they put more reveals out and they start explaining more of what's going to happen in the Battle Royale mode, because standard multiplayer doesn't mean anything to me anymore. Like, they might as well not even have the multiplayer mode either. They may as well just have made entirely a Battle Royale game, as far as I'm concerned, like Fortnite has done here. They may as well just done a whole mode for that, because the search and destroy means nothing to me because it's trash. The kind of like death matches are trash because the connection's so laggy and so poor. The maps are so tiny, and the situation's just so god awful.
Oh, yes.
So, um, you know, like, you kind of have to look at that and kind of say, you know, you might as well just dump all those game modes entirely and just go and do something else. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, if this is what they're doing, fine. So if they reveal something really, really good about a battle royale mode, or it's not as trashy, I personally, as we've talked about in this, we have both kind of ignored the battle pass. Neither of us have bought any skins, as far as I'm aware, anyway.
I have not bought anything, no.
No. So we've been playing this game not religiously or hardcore or anything, but we've not spent any cash doing so. So I kind of feel I don't honestly mind what Call of Duty stick in terms of making money, as long as it's not to overpower the
Forced.
game or
Yes.
change the game or forced, whatever else. I can ignore the microtransactions. I like Fortnite, but I miss the first-person shooter aspect of it.
No,
I
absolutely.
really, you know, I really do. I mean, if something like Titanfall could do a patch and stick Battle Royale mode in Titanfall 2 online, they could just patch their game to do it. I'd be in there playing it. I'd be there. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because I quite like the idea of the Battle Royale mode, more so than I do just a normal team deathmatch, or I used to hate free for all in Call of Duty. So um, yeah, I am intrigued. I am intrigued for sure, more so than I was. I mean, Zombies was quite good originally. They kind of ruined Zombies as far as I was concerned when they started going a bit too crazy with the storylines and the weird and wonderful, like, go and touch this and this thing set on fire, and then there's electricity here, and then like a monster came out of here, and then blah,
Yes.
blah, and it's just like, it was like, no, I kind of just like the idea that you were in a building and zombies came at you in waves and you just fended them off. In the end, they kind of had you running around in circles through water and then through like a desert and then whatever else, and just like, I don't understand, I don't get it anymore. But it could be interesting if they've added this new kind of, the different maps have different ideas and there's different characters with different traits and stories and all that good stuff. Um, so yeah, for the first time in a long time, a Call of Duty reveal has actually made me think, because I like their single player. I used to try and get all the achievements I actually got, like, on the first couple, all the achievements you could get.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
and for the games, I completed them entirely. 1,000 points to me, yay. Um, but missing the single player, like you say, doesn't bother me anymore, because once I found some friends that played Call of Duty Online, you're right. You kind of just skipped over the single player, really, didn't you? You just kind of like
Yeah.
played the tutorial bit they forced you to play, because they were like, before you can have multiplayer, you need to know how to play the game. Um, so they kind of force you to do a little bit of single player just to get the idea. But as soon as it unlocked, yeah, I was straight in there. I was like, yeah, no, I just want to start ranking up. I want to start getting good guns. I want to start
Exactly.
pushing me rank forward. Um, but yeah, because I haven't played a Call of Duty in a long time, in a long, long time, I am feeling maybe this could be the one. Maybe this could be what brings me back into
Okay,
Call of
well,
Duty world.
E3 is coming up in just about 3 weeks ish. Do you think they will reveal more there?
Um,
Because this was
if
just an announcement of some sort.
Yeah, I can't see them announcing too much more this early. We are still in March.
Yes.
No, mate.
May.
Um, um, so I can't see them revealing too much more this early on because if it is at the usual, I think like it's like 13th of November, I think was the usual date. If they
No, it's
stick to
actually
their,
releasing on the 12th of October, believe it or not. They pushed
oh,
it
well,
forward a
there you go.
month. So I'm guessing the time that was meant to go on the campaign, they were able to finish early as well because they didn't put as much
Oh,
work as it would go usually.
yeah. Um, so I still think there's so many months to go. They're gonna want to keep the information tight to their chest so they can roll it because if you look at the PR machine of any big game,
Mm-hmm.
it's generally like here's a little teaser trailer, here's a slightly longer trailer, here's some cinematic stuff that's got nothing to do with the game really, and the
Yes.
gameplay is like the last day before release for most like companies now, isn't it? So, um, yeah, I can't see them releasing too much more to be honest.
Okay. Well. So in this case, we will try and get some beta access. I'm sure I will get the beta access for sure. So I will give you my code, so perhaps we could play it and perhaps give a more in-depth sort of look at it once the game,
Cool.
has its beta, and
Yeah.
that
I
is
mean,
gonna give us a solid idea whether this is gonna a game that we are going to get or something that perhaps we might pass.
mm. Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's good points and bad points to everything. Um, for people that love single player, I'm sure the single player being missing is a pain. The fact that they've bothered to call it Black Ops 4 and not continue the story on at all, unless somehow the Battle Royale mode continues the story,
I
um,
really doubt it.
I don't see why they've even bothered. They might as well just called it Call of Duty New Game 2 or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like, it
exactly. Yeah, just Call of Duty
just rename
Fortnite.
it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it literally has no sense to call it Black Ops because you would play a Black Ops for the campaign and what it sort of brought to the sort of genre.
mm,
But yeah, I guess so. I do agree with your point. They could have called it something totally different, but I think they went for something that is well known. They're like, yeah, something well known. Let's go for it.
indeed, but like I say, I don't understand that marketing decision, and I'm not into PR and marketing. I haven't been to school to learn that sort of nonsense. But it seems weird to me that if you're known for, say, Coca-Cola, right, you're
Mhm.
known for it, and then you bring out a brand new orange fizzy drink, right, and you sort of like, I don't know, it's called Coca Orange or something.
Yeah,
You're kind of like, well, yeah, but you were famous for cola. Like calling it Coca Orange doesn't help it. You might as well call it Anta. You might as well call it Tizer. You might as well call it like Lucozade or whatever else. You might as well. Obviously, those are brands, but you might as well give it a whole brand new name because the fact that it comes from the Coca-Cola company doesn't mean anything. Like, do you know what I mean?
absolutely.
It's a
Yeah,
whole new drink. Yeah, you got Coca-Cola, right? Doesn't mean you get fizzy orange, right? Does it?
that's very true.
But it's the same list. It's like, yeah, it's Black Ops, but it's not the really cool Black Ops storyline of like going back in time and doing stuff from like the 80s and whatever else, and kind of then going forward into the future and doing like drones and whatever else and flying suits and like that was the thing about Black Ops was that you did play a number of timelines and it was interesting the deep rooted kind of like spy within a spy within a spy. There was a cell trying to get into you, into your brain. You had information. Do you know what I mean? Like it was interesting in the way they
Yes.
kind of told that story. If there's no story, then it's not Black Ops, is it? I just
No,
don't get
yeah,
it.
yeah. No, I totally
Um,
agree with you.
anyway, we've kind of rambled on for a little bit, so we probably should just wrap this up. Final thoughts.
Yes, final thought is I'm interested, as you said. I'm really interested. Um, I think that Treyarch has the way of grabbing the audience by their mechanics, simply because their movement system is exceptional, and that's what I enjoy. And I play Black Ops 3 to this day, so I am definitely interested. I will definitely play the beta, and I will give you my additional thoughts when I get to try it. But for now, I like what I see. And for you?
Cool. For me, yeah, haven't played a Call of Duty in a long time. Interested in this one more than any of the others that have been announced so far. Still don't know that I'll buy it because I still hate Activision with a passion. And I really can't bring myself to give them any money. But I may break that if it's any good. And again, we will need more detail on stuff, because if the Battle Royale mode is 5 small maps stuck together and it's like playing a Call of Duty anyway, I'm not interested. I kind of want Call of Duty to change. I need Call of Duty to change for me to
Absolutely.
bother with it.
Absolutely, man. So let's find out if this is going to be the time that they've done it right, and we'll keep you updated.
Cool. Right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. If you have any comments to make, if you've got anything to say about Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, or what we've commented on, do drop it into either of our comments, and we will invariably try and carry on that conversation with you in the comments section.
Yes.
Obviously, we played a bit of Fortnite, so you can keep both review syncs. Like and subscribe on either or both channels. It does help us out if you did indeed like the content. And from me, it's goodbye.
Thank you very much, people. Bye bye.